Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Lemonade Show. And here's why I'm so excited. Last week, if you tuned in, it was our highest rated episode ever. Absolutely loved it. We had a blast bringing Joe Amabile onto the set, and had just a lot of great advice. And so, but obviously with ratings continuing to go up, that tells me one of two things: either you are really amused by my moderately witty repartee, or more than likely, the reality is that that you're kind of growing, much like the rest of us, really growing tired of all the negativity that's out there, particularly in social media. You just want some good uplifting stories of real people finding real solutions. And it's for that reason why I am so excited to bring out this week's guest. And so my guest this week, I've had the opportunity to, we've worked out together a few times, and here's what I know. The location where I worked out a few times, they sometimes put you into groups. Okay. And I know whenever I end up in Nicki's group that I'm going to have to work that much harder because she's going to be pushing us that much harder. So, and so I don't know if I'm happy for that because I'm in a good workout, or if I'm fearful for that. But at the end, here's what I know. I had a great time. So without further ado, I am very pleased to bring out Nicki Warner. Good to see you, Nicki.
Hi.
Yes.
I always love being in a group with you, Jen.
I always get a little, I'm going to be honest, there's times where I know, like, okay, well, I can maybe relax a little bit. Never when I'm assigned to your group. It's like, go, go, go.
It's all right.
So, but always a lot of fun. So, so Nicki, we spoke a little bit before the show started, and one thing that we really would like to talk and get into is your journey into fitness instructing. And so, you weren't always in that space. And so, what was the transition? What was your sort of professional identity prior to, and then what sort of prompted this shift over to fitness instructing?
Sure. Well, so I've always been into working out. So as a kid, I played sports, and I remember being little. My aunt was an aerobics instructor at Vic Tanny, so I would watch her working out. So I've always really been into fitness. But I went to Michigan State, and my degree was in advertising. So right out of college, I started working in advertising, and my last job was at Microsoft, which I loved. Worked with so many great people. But I traveled a lot, and it was just really hard to do the work-life balance. So I decided that it was best for my family if I stepped away from that position. But I knew that I wanted to keep doing something. So I decided to follow my passion for fitness. So I stopped my job at Microsoft, and the next day I went into a full-time training for Pilates. So I kind of kept my routine where I'd go in at 9, and I just went through as much training as I could. And I got it done in 3 months. So I became fully certified with Stop Pilates. I did all the different types of equipment. I did anatomy, special population. So I was all in. And then I've been working part-time teaching Pilates and also group fitness classes for the past 7 years. So it's been great. So I've been able to have a nice balance with the kids, but also following my passion, which is, helping people reach their fitness potentials.
And so, what sort of inspired you to head into into the space of fitness in which you were? There was a trip that you went on, right?
Yes. So I love dancing. I love having fun. Something that kind of was stressful to me when I was a teenager is I felt like working out wasn't fun. I felt like, I loved fitness, but I hated going on the treadmill. I would dread that time when you would have to just run on the treadmill. I'd be so bored. So, but I know you need cardio. Cardio is such a big part, weights, but you still have to have that cardio. So I was on a girls' trip in New York about 2 years ago, and it was super fun. We basically took as many classes as we could on this trip. It was basically a workout trip. So we did like 3 or 4 classes a day, and then we go out to a really good dinner after. And I did a bunch of research, and I was looking up like all the top like hot fitness classes that really we don't really have in Michigan. And so we tried just a whole bunch of different formats, just that you know haven't really seen or heard of around here. The last class we took was called 305 Fitness, and we went in and there's a live DJ in the class. So it's like you're at a club, but you're working out. And I'm telling you, it's like, it was the hardest workout, but the most fun I'd ever had. Like the class ended and I did not want to leave. So then I started following them on Instagram, and I saw that they had it was an application where you could try out to be an instructor. So I was literally laying in bed and I was like, that would be cool. so I like on Instagram, I laying in bed and I applied for the instructor application. And it was the first time they'd ever opened it up to do like certified instruction outside of New York. So I applied. 2 days later, I had a video interview. And then a couple days after that, I got this email, and it was like, we had 1,000 people apply and we accepted 50, and you're one of the 50. So next thing you know, I'm flying to New York to get certified to teach this like awesome class. And it was so cool to be there because it was just like really just a neat array of people. So all different ages, all different backgrounds. There were some NBA dancers, there were some professional dancers, there was people from Broadway. There's a couple, you know, moms there, not too many, but yeah, so it was literally such a neat experience. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I was definitely out of my comfort zone just because I didn't really know like what I was getting into. Some of the girls, like the Dancing with the Star girl, she was like, you know, what's your background? And I was like, Palm Squad, 1996. And they're like, oh, okay. But I really like to dance. So then once we got there, it wasn't over. So you had to like learn all the routines and everything. And then you had to try out again.
Yeah.
To finally get officially certified. So it was super challenging, but super fun. I met like great people that I'm still friends with. And I think it makes you feel kind of like proud to teach the format as well, because you feel like you earned it. Yeah. But I'm telling you, like, it's the hardest workout, but you burn a ton of calories, and it's literally, it's kind of like a party the whole time.
It's almost like, so I'm getting some weird reverb on my mic, so I apologize for the sound here. But so it's almost like you know you're working out, but at the same time you're having so much fun to realize that, you know, you're also sweating your rear end off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other part of the story. The other part of your story that I'm really drawn to on this is, you're feeling a nudge and you're going for it. Right. It's like, okay, I worked in the world. I worked in the marketing and advertising world. And you know what? I'm needed over here. So I'm going to pivot. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to go for it. Right. And then at the same time, like, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to dip my toe in the water. Like, no, we're going full out and we're going to go get it. Right. Yeah. And so that's the part I think really speaks to people as well, to where I think it's so easy to kind of fall into the trap of, well, maybe I'll do it, and it just turns into kind of like cloud talk, right? But you aren't talking cloud talk. You just, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do it. Now, as all this is happening, and you're kind of you're getting your business underneath you, and everything's moving forward, all of a sudden, then now we have COVID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the part of the story that I really love, and here's where the lemonade comes in.
This is the lemonade. Yeah. So it's just kind of interesting because I work at a studio called Mueva Fitness in Clarkston. Love it. Like, just great clients, and everyone there is super friendly. And right before COVID, I had been talking to them and letting them know that I was planning on opening a studio. So I had everything in the works. I had the lease signed, the construction drawings done. They were at the county for approval, everything ready to go. And then COVID. So it was kind of like everything was just instantly put on hold. But it's like you can't just stop. You know what I mean? So while like those plans were on hold, I still wanted to make sure that people were able to work out and continue to share 305 as much as I could, just because I do like love it so much. And I feel like now more than ever, people need that release. Like for one thing, the clubs are closed. There's no like just going out and dancing. You know what I mean? So people want to dance, they want to have fun. There's so much stress and anxiety. I know how important it is for me to work out. If I don't work out for a few days, I feel like that tension. So I just think it's such an important release, especially now, especially with everything that's going on in the world. You have to, I think self-care is like so important. I know there's been a lot of talk about it, which I think is so awesome, but I just really wanted to like keep things going. So during the early stages of quarantine, I was actually moving. And so I really couldn't teach. So I was kind of promoting 305 was doing some free online classes. So I would promote those and I would take those too. So they were on YouTube. They actually have an at-home program now. It's a Apple TV, or it's an Apple app. I can get you the info if anyone wants it. But if you can't take my classes, it's kind of just a way that you can do the classes from your house anytime. It's pretty cool. But as soon as I was able to get groups of people together, I started having the classes in my yard, which actually was a big hit. So it kind of started, I was like talking to my friends and I was like, would anyone just want to come over and work out? So that's how it started. And then we were able to get, I think, what was it? Groups of like 100 outside. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so once we were able to get like up to groups of 100, so then I started just spreading the word, and whoever could make it, it was just a $10 drop in. I went out and I bought this wireless speaker system, and then I have a wireless mic. And of course, like I said, I moved. So my new neighbors, they're like, who's this girl that's like having all these people in their backyard? But it's been super fun. And I actually just had a class tonight. So I'm keeping it going as long as I can.
Yeah. And so then are you noticing too that obviously you're getting a lot of repeat, but are you sensing that feel of community that's building out of that too?
Yeah. So, it was kind of funny because when I started the classes, it was kind of when like the early stages of quarantine were just lifting. And I think everyone was just so happy to see other people. So we'd have the class, but then we would like stay and we would just hang out outside and talk, and the moms would talk. And it was kind of like a nice release, just to like look forward to, so we knew we were going to exercise, and then, we were going to see some friends, we do our air high fives and air booty bumps. And it's just fun. You are seriously working out, but it's not a serious workout.
Yeah. And again, weird reverb. I apologize again, but the great part about that too is, because you hit the nail on the head, right? Is the idea of self-care, the importance of self-care, and but then also the ideas of community, right? So both of those are built right into to what you're doing. So just look at it, look at the tremendous difference that you're making in the community around. That's one of the great things that that I love so much about this area is this is just the norm, right? And so just so many great people like yourself that just find ways to find positive even in the craziest and potentially even the darkest of times. And so thank you for that. Absolutely. And so, all right, so that's where things are at now. Where would you like to see things kind of go over the next? So obviously there's no telling what COVID's going to be.
Right.
But obviously, no matter what, you're going to have to continue to pivot. And then knowing you and knowing your story, you're just going to continue to pivot. So, so kind of where do you see this thing going?
I mean, eventually I would like to open a studio, just not really sure how that's going to look with everything that's going on. So it's still a goal of mine. I'm turning a room in my basement into a studio. So I'm going to be doing like private and duets in my basement. So if things do close down in the wintertime, I'll still have that going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I mean, some of my friends that have been doing the class, they're like, we'll put snowsuits on. We'll like keep going out here. So as long as people want to come, I'll be hosting in my yard. I've been talking to Acceleration about maybe doing some classes there because they have the big turf space.
Mm-hmm.
So, working with them just to bring it inside, but keep it safe. And then I'm still going to continue to work at Mueva, teaching. They have live and virtual classes. So if people still really aren't comfortable coming into a studio, they have that virtual option. So you can get the recording.
Yeah.
So, whatever I got to do, figure it out.
And so I do want to make sure that that we give the folks at home the opportunity to to contact you, and so should they want to have more information, should they want to try a 305 class, should they want to visit over at your home to do a class, or at Mueva or at Excel, tons of different options for people to get out there. And again, let me just obviously, my wife has attended one of your classes, and she was saying like the same sort of thing. It was like the most fun that she's had working out, in a long time. And she loves, the workouts that she does. So it's nothing against, what she's currently doing, but she absolutely had a ball when she was able to sit on one of your classes. So for those of you that are out there, I would highly recommend contacting Nicki and signing up for one of her classes, at least one of her classes, because I promise you, like, one will turn into two, will turn into three, will then turn into community. So so what you have here is at the bottom of the screen, you have Nicki's email address, which is a great way to get a hold of her, or absolutely follow her on Instagram that's at Nicki Wardo. That's your Instagram account. And but Nicki, anything you'd like to add to the contact or anything along those lines?
Just so because I'm doing so many different things, I've been posting my schedule weekly on my Instagram story and on Facebook. So if you want, you can either contact me if you have any questions about when classes are coming up, or just kind of keep an eye on my Instagram or Facebook stories, and you'll see the schedule each week. It's been pretty standard, but like I said, I'd like to start adding some classes at Acceleration. So there might be, some additions to my regular schedule.
Fantastic. Yeah. When's the next opportunity where somebody could be in your classes?
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, it's my crazy microphone. And so when's the next opportunity somebody could have to be to attend one of your classes?
So the next class in my yard is Thursday.
Okay.
I teach Thursday morning at Mueva, virtual and live, at 8:45 in the morning. And then Thursday night at 6 p.m. is at my house for 305. I'll be teaching a free demo class at Acceleration this Friday at 6 p.m. And then there is another class at Mueva at 9:30 on Saturday. So quite a few opportunities coming up.
Fantastic. And again, so you mentioned a couple of those opportunities are free, but and some of the paid ones, what would be the cost for a single class and some of the paid opportunities?
So any class at my house is a $10 drop-in. You can either give cash or Venmo, PayPal, whatever you want to do. At Mueva, they have different packages. Your first class is $5 if you've never been there before. And then I believe it's a $12 drop-in. But if you go to their website, you can find all the pricing.
Yeah. Fantastic. So I love it. So a lot of free opportunities, but then even the drop-in is still very reasonable.
I know.
And so
Just want to keep it going.
yeah, and so I'm hoping that our millions of watchers right now will be contacting you for uplifting and hardworking experience and a great sweat and terrific community. And so hopefully that'll be the case. And I encourage everybody out there to please reach out to Nicki for that opportunity. Well, Nicki, it is now time. I hope you're ready. Sorry, dramatic effect. So it is now time to enter the gauntlet. Are you ready?
Let's see. All right. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right.
Bring it on.
So we've got 5 questions. For those of you that if this is your first time watching the show, I'll be asking Nicki 5 questions, just this or that questions. Okay. And she's not going to reveal her answer right away. But what I want you to do, for those of you watching at home, in the Facebook chat or on the YouTube chat, I want you to type in your answers. And then after the 5th question, you hit send. Okay? And if your 5 answers matches Nicki's 5 answers, then I will cover your first class at a Nicki Warner home session. Okay? So that's how it's going to work. So Nicki, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, so night out. Okay. Are you going Margs or are you going Mules?
Oh, that's an easy question, but okay.
All right. You ready for question 2?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So now you mentioned you went to Michigan State. Now, I won't hold that against you. I know you're still a wonderful person. So when it comes to Michigan State, do you lean more football or basketball if it comes to supporting your Spartans? Okay.
I got that one.
All right. Now, outing with the kids. Do you prefer that outing to be like boating in the summer, so you can go like tubing, jet skiing, whatever? Or do you prefer more of like the winter activities, take them sledding or skiing?
That's hard. All right. I got it.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's go similar question number 1, and it's girls' night out. And are you going to, I think I know the answer to this one. If anybody's paying attention, they probably know it as well. Are you going to dance the night away? Or would you prefer going to the concert of your favorite group? All right. Ready for
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. We'll see how that one turns out.
I know.
All right. So then question 5. All right. Comfort food. When it comes to comfort food.
Love food.
Okay. So is your comfort food more likely to be mac and cheese, like good mac and cheese? Not Kraft, but like, like a Union mac and cheese, or like a really good chili?
All right.
You got all 5?
That's a tough question, but okay, I got the answer.
Yeah, that's why it's fun. All right, so folks watching at home, if you entered your answers, go ahead and click send now, and then we'll see if after you watch, if you want to click send at that point, then we will see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if anybody is able to match. Of course, my mom is a faithful watcher, and of course, so she puts her answers on here. So she's saying Mules, basketball, boating, dance the night away, and chili. Okay, and here's my dad on here. All right, thanks, Mom and Dad. Appreciate you watching. Mules, basketball, winter, dance the night away, and chili. All right, so there's a couple of our answers. I'm sure there's always a few more that trickle in. as we go. But let's go back, Nikki. Let's get your answers. All right. So question number 1: Margs or Mules?
Well, anyone that knows me, hands down, Margs.
All right. So any kind of special Marg or just traditional or?
I mean, I go for a spicy Marg, but basically anything at Honcho. They have their like different flavors. Anything that Honcho makes, I'm all in.
Yeah, no, I understand. And more than likely, I would be with you on that. I understand the mule craze, but the Marg is the way to go.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going to say Spartian, but I just did.
I can say it.
So, all right. So what gets you more excited to watch a Michigan State sporting event, football or basketball?
I mean, I love both, but love basketball. Big fan.
So a true Spartan.
Yeah.
That's how it's got to be. All right.
His own.
Yeah. And of course, back when we were in college, that was just getting off the ground.
Yeah. I was there when the
zone and all that. And so, in our day, all right. All right. Fun outing with the kids. Is that fun outing more likely to be boating or, boat fun, lake fun, or sledding, skiing, winter fun?
I mean, that's so hard because my family loves doing both of those so much. But I think if I had to choose one, I would probably choose the boating in the summer just because it's so warm and nice and in the sun. But that was a tough one because I could go either way with those because, especially with the kids, they like doing both.
All right. So
I'm gonna go with boating.
Yeah. So not quite a coin flip, maybe a 51-49 for boating.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right. I think question 4, if anybody got this one wrong, they were not paying attention. But just as a formality, are we dancing a night away or favorite concert?
For sure dancing. You see me at workout, I'm always like, even if we're supposed to be doing burpees, I somehow get to the beat.
It's always in rhythm.
Can't help it.
So, all right. So then let's go to question 5. All right. Comfort food. Are we going mac and cheese or are we going chili?
I mean, that was another one. I'm a foodie. I like eating all types of food, but I would probably have to go to mac and cheese. If I'm doing comfort food, that's kind of more the way I would. Pasta is always a favorite for me.
All right. Now, are we going like Union Mac or just?
I mean, I love Union Mac. So the lobster mac, so good.
It's amazing how they find. I remember I took one of my friends there who lives out of town, and he's like, "Why would I get mac and cheese at a restaurant?" I'm like, "Just trust me."
Yeah.
And so it's just something about it. And but obviously we're heading into comfort food season, and both of those work out well. But mac and cheese, why not? Why not? Absolutely. All right. Well, Nicki, thank you very much. I'm going to put your contact information up here one last time. And it was an absolute joy having you on for this episode of the Lemonade Show. And I do want to thank you for just for your continued positivity and your hard work and just the outlook of wanting to build community. And so that's one of the things that makes our community so great is people like you. So thank you so much.
Aww, well, thank you, John. And thanks for creating this for everybody. This is so cool.
Oh, thank you. It's fun. It gives me a little bit of something to do on a Tuesday, but glad to do it. And for everybody at home, just come back next week, every Tuesday at this time, every Tuesday at 7:00. And so be on the lookout. We always have fun announcements for our next guests. And with that, I will sign off. Everyone have a great day. God bless.